This video outlines the installation procedures for the Model 7000 furnace mount humidifier. For installation, technical help, or for parts and service, call our assistance line 1-800-465-7300, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You will require the following tools to complete this installation. Before beginning the installation, plan the location of the humidifier and the various components. This unit is designed to install on most forced air furnaces with a supply and return duct. The selected location for the humidifier must have a drain, a water supply, and a 120-volt electrical outlet. We recommend that you mount the humidifier body on the return duct, cold air duct, to lessen the exposure to high temperatures and hot surfaces. The humidifier body will require at least a 10-inch wide duct. To ensure the efficient operation of the humidifier, try to keep the bypass duct as short as possible, 3 feet or less. Remember that after installation, the humidifier and all components should be easily accessible for routine maintenance. Never, under any circumstances, mount the humidifier or bypass on the furnace body. Consult an HVAC professional if, in order to complete this installation, you must manipulate, move, or add to your furnace or duct. Refer to the section in the installation manual detailing good and bad installations. Install the humidifier cabinet and bypass collar and damper before you make any electrical or water connections. If you have central air conditioning, take precautions not to damage the evaporator coil when drilling or cutting into the ductwork. The evaporator coil is generally installed just above the furnace in the supply duct. Before beginning the installation, shut off the furnace, turn down the thermostat, and turn off the water supply to the pipe which will be used for water connection. Once a location for mounting the humidifier has been selected, determine which side of the humidifier the bypass tube will be mounted on. Your humidifier comes from the factory set up as right-hand ducting. However, depending on your application, it may be necessary to switch it to left-hand ducting. Switch the bypass ducting only if your application requires it. Remove the humidifier front cover. To do this, loosen the screw at the bottom of the cover. Tilt the cover away from the body, and then lift the cover to free the hooks at the top of the unit. Remove all loose components and any packaging which may have been packed inside the unit. Disconnect the black water supply tube from the water nozzle. Using a screwdriver, remove the 2 screws which hold the side panel in place. Lift the side out of the right-hand position. Turn the part and position on the other side of the humidifier. Secure the side panel in position with the 2 screws removed earlier. If you have not already done so, remove the humidifier cover, all loose components, and any packaging which may have been packed inside the unit, and disconnect the black water supply tube from the water nozzle. To install this unit, you should not have to remove the evaporator pad and distribution tray. Our unit comes with an easy-to-follow humidifier cabinet mounting template. Do the following to install the cabinet on the duct and ensure that the unit is installed level. If you have not already done so, turn off the furnace and turn down the thermostat. Use adhesive tape to affix the template onto the duct in the selected location. Use the level line on the template to ensure that the cabinet will be level when mounted. Drill the 4 marked 1/8-inch cabinet mounting holes and the 2 marked 7/32-inch positioning holes. Drill a 3/8-inch hole inside the rectangle marked Humidifier Cutout. Using the 3/8-inch hole drilled earlier as a starting point, cut out the area marked on the template with tin snips. Mount the humidifier cabinet on the duct with 4 of the screws from the installation package. Check that the humidifier is level before tightening the screws. Check that the black water supply tube is firmly installed in the water nozzle at the top of the distribution tray. Your unit comes with an easy-to-follow collar and damper mounting template. Do the following to install the bypass collar damper. Use adhesive tape to affix the bypass template onto the duct in the selected location. Drill the 3 marked 1/8 inch bypass collar mounting holes. Drill a 3/8 inch hole inside the area marked collar cutout. Using the 3/8 inch hole drilled earlier as a starting point, cut out the collar that is marked on the template using tin snips. Mount the bypass collar and damper using the remaining 3 screws from the installation package. The air damper should be mounted in the open position, securing it with the top screw on the collar. The bypass tube will be installed after the water and electrical connections are made. Make sure the black water supply tube is installed correctly in the top of the distribution tray and that the evaporator pad is installed correctly before making the water connections. All required hardware is supplied in the saddle valve kit in the installation package. We recommend that if you are replacing an old humidifier, you replace all components, including the water supply tube. Over time, scale and other water deposits may have built up in the water line. This could act to plug the humidifier's orifice fitting. Do the following to make the water connection to the humidifier, the valve connection to your water supply, and the required drain connection. If you have not already done so, shut off the water to the pipe to be used to mount the saddle valve. Sand approximately 1 1/4 inch of both ends of the 1/4 inch water supply tube. Failure to do so may result in leaks. Prepare the end of the 1/4 inch tubing with hardware for connection to the humidifier. When making the connection to the humidifier's solenoid valve, start the nut by hand, taking care not to cross-thread. Once hand-tight, a couple of turns using an adjustable wrench will secure it. Do not over-tighten. If it leaks, you can adjust it tighter later. Select a convenient location for connecting the saddle valve on a cold water pipe. It should be accessible so you can shut off the water supply to the humidifier. Once the valve is mounted on the water pipe, you can connect the water supply tube to the saddle valve. Prepare the end of the 1/4 inch tubing. Start the nut by hand, taking care not to cross-thread. Once hand-tight, a couple of turns using an adjustable wrench will secure it. Do not over-tighten. If it leaks, you can adjust it tighter later. Take care that the water supply tube does not kink or come into contact with sharp edges or hot surfaces. After the water supply tube is connected, slowly turn the handle of the saddle valve down all the way to pierce the water pipe. Then open it slowly. Once the water supply is turned on, you will be able to check for leaks at the saddle valve connections and at the humidifier's solenoid valve. Repair them if necessary. A drainage tube must be used with this humidifier. Select a convenient location for running the 1/2 inch drain tube. Before you connect the tubing to the drain fitting on the bottom of the unit, slip the supplied 1/2 inch hose clamp over the tubing. Push the tubing over the fitting and secure it in place with the hose clamp. Take care that the drain tubing does not kink or come into contact with sharp edges or hot surfaces. This unit is equipped with a 120 volt to 24 volt plug-in transformer. Locate a convenient 120 volt outlet which cannot be turned off. The transformer has 10 feet of wire for connection to the humidifier. Do not plug in the transformer until the installation is complete. The HumidiSense electronic humidistat is designed to mount on the return duct to ensure proper airflow over the humidity sensor. The humidistat should be mounted upstream from the humidifier, at least 6 to 10 inches away from the humidifier. Do not locate the humidistat near any fresh air intakes or anywhere outdoor air is being introduced into the return duct. This will result in false low humidity readings. For best results, the humidistat should be located where it will sense air from the house coming back to the furnace before outside air is mixed with it. The humidistat is supplied with a 2-foot harness for connection to the humidifier. Do the following to mount the humidistat. Use adhesive tape to affix the template onto the duct in the selected location. Drill the 4 marked 7/64" holes on the template. Drill a 3/8" hole inside the rectangle marked humidistat sensor. Using the 3/8" hole drilled earlier as a starting point, cut out the area on the template using tin snips. The humidistat base and cover snap fit together. Remove the humidistat knob and disconnect the cover from the base, exposing the control board and the humidistat base. Using the 4 supplied screws, mount the humidistat base. Control connections are made from the humidistat to the humidifier via the 2-foot harness. Connect the harness to the humidistat and run the other end of the harness to the side of the humidifier. The humidistat has 2 operation modes, automatic and manual. Refer to the humidistat section in the operating instructions for a more detailed explanation of the operation. The purpose of the automatic function is to protect against overhumidification and condensation problems. When outdoor air temperatures drop, the humidistat will automatically turn down. When the temperatures go up, the humidistat will automatically go to a higher set point. The set points in automatic operation are based on ARI recommended humidity levels. Shown is an example, with a dial set at 5 and an outdoor air temperature of 0 degrees Celsius or 30 degrees Fahrenheit. The maximum relative humidity level achieved will be 40%. Manual function. If operating the humidistat in manual mode, the automatic manual switch will be in the up position. In manual mode, the outdoor air sensor is not used. The electronic humidistat will function the same as a standard humidistat. A label is supplied for manual operation. Place this label on the front cover, centering the hole in the label over the hole on the front cover used for the humidistat dial. Install the humidistat cover on the humidistat and install the knob. Automatic function. If operating the humidistat in automatic mode, the automatic manual switch will be in the down position. In automatic mode, you will have to install the supplied outdoor air sensor. The outdoor air sensor wire is connected to the humidistat using the 2-terminal plug-in connector next to the main cable connection. The other end of the sensor wire ideally should be placed outside and secured in place using a screw. If you are unable to run the sensor outside, place the sensor on the surface of a basement window. Once the outdoor air sensor is installed, replace the humidistat cover and install the knob. Use the automatic operation humidistat label. Returning to the humidifier, you can make the power connections from the transformer to the humidifier. Connect the 2 wires from the transformer to the side of the humidifier to the 2 terminals marked 24-volt in. Check to make sure the solenoid valve is connected to the 2 terminals marked 24-volt out. Now that the water and electrical connections have been made to the humidifier, you can install the bypass tube. Make the connection at the bypass collar first. Slide one of the supplied 6-inch spring clamps over the end of the bypass tube. Install the tube over the collar and position the spring clamp to secure in position. Repeat the process at the other end to install the bypass tube onto the humidifier cabinet. Watch that the spring clamp does not touch the solenoid valve, as this may result in a buzzing noise. Check your installation of components within the humidifier, the distribution tray, evaporator pad, and water supply tube, and install the front cover on the humidifier. Secure it in place with the thumb screw. Now that the installation is complete, you can operate and test the humidifier. Turn on the water supply. Turn on the furnace and plug in the transformer. To ensure the efficient use of water, the humidifier is designed to run only when the furnace is in a heating cycle. The unit comes from the factory set to turn on when it senses a temperature through the bypass tube of over 30 degrees Celsius or 86 degrees Fahrenheit, and a temperature rise of at least 4 degrees Celsius or 10 degrees Fahrenheit in 1 minute. The unit will shut off when it senses a temperature lower than 45 degrees Celsius or 113 degrees Fahrenheit, and a temperature drop of 2 degrees Celsius or 5 degrees Fahrenheit in 1 minute. The control has adjustment in the temperatures required to turn the humidifier off. For a detailed explanation of the different settings and how to change them, refer to the operating instructions. Only change the factory settings if absolutely necessary. To test the humidifier, you can turn the humidistat knob to the test position. With the humidistat in automatic or manual operation, turn the humidistat knob all the way to the right. When set in the test position, the humidistat will allow the humidifier to run for 1 minute and then shut off. The humidifier will still wait until after your furnace is operating and blowing hot air before turning on. Turn up the thermostat so the furnace starts. It will generally take anywhere from 20 seconds to 90 seconds for the humidifier to turn on, depending on the style and age of the furnace. A green LED located on the front of the side panel will indicate that the humidifier is operating, and the solenoid valve will allow water to flow. The unit should run for approximately 1 minute and then shut off. After the humidifier shuts off, turn down your thermostat and allow the furnace to shut off and the humidifier to cool down. After testing the humidifier, check for and repair any leaks. Adjust your humidistat to the desired setting and adjust your furnace thermostat to the desired setting. The installation is now complete. Refer to the Installation and Operating and Maintenance Guide for humidifier settings, functions, and recommended maintenance.